everyone. Welcome to the Relay for Life Global Celebration. My name is Desiree Behringer-Carton, and I am so honored to be here today with you, the American Cancer Society and Relay for Life leaders, both staff and volunteers from all over the country and the world. And we are all ready to kick off the 2017 event season. We have crowds of people here joining us for the celebration here in Mall of America in Minneapolis and virtually in communities across the globe. Tonight's event is a celebration, all of we have accomplished, thanks to this empowering movement that began with Dr. Gordy Klatt in 1985 and has continued for over 3 decades. It's also a time to re-energize ourselves around why we are so committed to this important cause, one that touches the lives of so many we love. We are dedicated to the Relay movement because it fuels the American Cancer Society's mission to save lives and eliminate the pain and suffering caused by this terrible disease we call cancer. And we will remain determined to continue this important feat this year as our Relay for Life season gets underway. For those at home, you have the opportunity to get in on the action right here tonight. So if you head to Facebook, you can ask questions on the American Cancer Society Relay for Life page via the Facebook live comments section. We'll be taking your questions throughout this show. So now let's get started by talking with one of our partners for this event and the Relay program this year. I am so excited to introduce our first guest, Laura McCormick, a passionate longtime Relay volunteer from the great state of Connecticut and the co-lead of the Global Relay for Life leadership team. And we also have with us a very talented Tasha Wall, who has collaborated with us this year in the development of a creative initiative to unite survivor and caregiver stories from across the nation. So welcome to you both, ladies. Thank you so much for joining us. Pretty excited to be here with this wonderful crowd here at the Mall of America. So let's start with you, Laura. Tell us a little bit about why we're here at the Mall of America in this beautiful, inspirational piece of this artwork that Tasha did.
Well, along with the Midwest Division of the American Cancer Society, the Mall of America is a great partner. And they wanted to help us to kick off the 2017 Relay for Life season. So they offered their services and helped us get that excitement going. And about the same time, we made this great partnership with Tasha when she told us about her butterfly effect, the Pay It Forward movement. And we immediately saw such a great connection with the butterfly and the transformation of that caterpillar through that terrible, difficult journey to become a butterfly, and the cancer patient, and how they have that hope of becoming something better and soaring even higher. And so it was really a wonderful way to collaborate and to share survivor and caregiver stories.
It's truly a wonderful marriage, and it's so unique. Tasha, please tell us about how this unique initiative came about and why you decided to partner with the American Cancer Society and Relay for Life.
It was one of those things that was kind of just meant to be. I was at an event and I was getting ready to do a butterfly drop, and I often am with my husband and I was speaking and I wanted to do a drop, but I had completely run out of time, and I thought, I don't have time, but something was nagging in me to just do this drop. And so I grabbed into my purse and I pulled out one of 3 butterflies and I threw it up on this mime and I tweeted it on social media and I rushed to catch our flight. So a couple hours went by, I wasn't even thinking about it, and then I remembered, oh, I wonder if anyone found that butterfly. So I went ahead and checked on social media, and I had this tweet from a woman named Nicole Bianchi, and she had won an award that day at the ICANN conference and was really missing her mom, who had passed away 4 months ago from cancer. And she told me the story. She said, you don't understand, when my mom was in her last few days, I said to her, Mom, I'm going to miss you so much. And she said, I'm going to always be with you, Nicole. And Nicole said, how will I know? And her mom said, just look for purple butterflies. I dropped a purple butterfly. It was the first time she'd seen one since her mom's passing, and she knew her mom was with her at that moment. So it was just kind of meant to be, this partnership with American Cancer Society.
And you can hear the crowd here loving it, and so moving, and you just telling that story. How could you not do that beautiful, unique art piece. And I mean, we're so thankful that you did. What a very moving, touching story. And we're thrilled to unveil it here at this, at the Mall of America for this wonderful relay event, which will inspire so many. And Laura, I mean, this is part of the global movement, this story, that Tasha is telling, because it touches so many people. Talk to us a little bit about the Relay for Life global movement and really what it's all about, and talk to us a little bit maybe about, the decrease in cancer rates, which is another inspiration for us all, giving us hope.
It's so exciting. Well, the global program, the Relay for Life, transcends any nationality or any language and translates in every community. So that's really an amazing thing to be a part of. At the same time, we know that while cancer rates are going down and mortality rates are going down and more people are surviving with cancer than ever before, we know that it's still very, very crucial that we fight back in a big way. And the best way we can do that is through awareness. And the Relay for Life is the best platform for that. And sharing these butterfly stories, the stories of survivorship and caregivership around the globe just makes that even easier. So I encourage everybody to relay like it's your first year ever.
Oh, thank you so much, Laura, for joining us. And Tasha, thank you so much as well, and for your beautiful, talented artwork and sharing it with us across the globe and inspiring and moving others, because as Laura just said, it's giving us hope. And that's what it's all about, giving the families of cancer patients hope. So thank you again. And I know, Tasha's going to be here all weekend. We've got a lot going on here. We hope that the guests here at the Mall of America will get to continue to enjoy this beautiful art piece beyond this weekend celebration. So Tasha is among several celebrities who are getting it on here, the global movement to save lives from cancer. So we are so thankful for all their support. Laura and I will be back in a minute, but now I want to say hello to a longtime Relay for Life volunteer and Minnesota State Leadership Board member, Stacy Steinhagen. Hi there, Stacy. Welcome to the celebration.
Like all Relay for Life events, it takes an army of volunteers to make it the special event that it is. And all the elements today are coming together. We have a 3-story star constellation, probably seen the images of that. And you can still, from across the nation, join in with that and donate the stars. Now, I am joined with the chair of our National Board of Directors, Scarlett Mueller, who is helping with today's effort. Now, all the energy that we have here, can you put into words what experience we are having right here that's making history?
It's tremendous, Stacy. The constellation that we've developed is just amazing. And to know that every star represents the Star of Hope, I just can't put into words how much it means that the real stars behind this are the volunteers that are doing the work, and they are just tremendous. I'm happy to be here to roll up my sleeves to help them build this constellation. I have my stars that I'm adding, and the first one is for my grandmother, Pearl Malt. Pearl died of breast cancer when I was 10 years old. She's been my inspiration ever since. And I know that each and every person here has their own star of hope and their inspiration. And I'm pleased to say that because of all the work with the American Cancer Society, the funding that we've helped with for research and the progress that we've made, that there are more people today, both men and women, living with breast cancer, and it makes me proud. So it's not too late for you to get your star and add your story of hope.
What a beautiful tribute. You've got your stars, all these stars in one place. I cannot say how beautiful it is. And it is a testament to the impact that we make through Relay for Life and this movement. And it's such an important cause. Now, Scarlett, as we kick off 2017, if you can believe it, 2017, what is the message you want to give to Relayers?
I want to say thank you for all the hard work that you're doing. You're just the gold behind all this movement in Relay and the hope and inspiration for others. And I hope that you'll keep in your hearts and your minds what wonderful work that you are doing. And I know that together we can help end cancer and make our world someday cancer-free. So I thank the volunteers so much.
The sheer power of volunteers. Back to you, Desiree.
Thank you so much, Stacey, and thank you so much, Scarlett. And I want to give out a shout out to all our viewers who are watching. We have so many. We have a shout out from Northwest Pennsylvania. Thank you. Tacoma, Washington. Jefferson County, West Virginia, Michigan. Sarah Parsons from Latham, New York is having a view party. Sorry if I messed up your name. Doug from Australia is watching. It is early in the morning there. That's dedication. So thank you to all of our volunteers and our participants. Keep watching. Send in your shout outs, send in your questions, because we are joined now on stage with Gary Reedy, the CEO of the American Cancer Society, and Mark Horashevsky, I hope I said your name right, from Seattle, one of the co-chair volunteers from the Nationwide Relay for Life leadership team. They are here to share some incredible progress and successes that we've seen for this relay season. So welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming. So we're excited. Let's start out with you, Gary. We've got so much to talk about. Let's talk about what you're most proud of in the Relay for Life movement in 2016.
Well, I'll tell you, Desiree, that's really easy, and it's the volunteers. I mean, Relay is what it is because of the volunteer engagement, the volunteer involvement, bringing the communities together. And we saw that again this year. I was actually down in Puerto Rico for the relay down there, and saw about 5,000 people come out. I was out at Bakersfield, California. Saw about 7,000 or 8,000 people come out, and the volunteers, as always, just do a phenomenal job.
And that's what Relay is all about, this global movement. You're in Puerto Rico, Relevo por la Vida, you know, and just, it's just exciting. Like, we're seeing these volunteers from all over the world. Talk to me about your most unforgettable moment.
You know what, and there's always, at every relay, there's just something that really strikes you, but getting back to Puerto Rico, there was a team, the relay I was at was the final one of the season, and it was in San Juan, and there was a team that walked 18 miles that day. They started at about 7 o'clock in the morning, walked 18 miles. It was very hot. They got there around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and they'd asked me to be there at the gate to greet them as they arrived. And I have to tell you, Desiree, when they come walking around the corner, and I saw these people walking, I mean, I really got choked up. I mean, it was just incredible, that they had walked there to be a part of this final event for the season. The dedication and the passion, that's very moving, and that's just amazing to me. I know you both have seen so many relays across the country and the world with so many touching stories like Gary just mentioned. Mark, but tell us what makes the most relay impactful for you. I know it's community-based, it's volunteer-driven. Talk to me a little bit about the importance of this and what makes it.
I think some of the numbers that Gary shared in terms of the volume and the money that we're raising is incredible. But this year, on a much more kind of personal note that I think really communicates the power of Relay, is one of our dear friends' mothers was diagnosed with cancer. And, pre-relay, if that happened in communities, people didn't have anywhere to go. But she had us to go to. She knew that we knew and had been part of this and had hope. And I think the power of the relay movement being in communities and of and for volunteers is that it allows people to turn to each other for help in what might be the scariest time in their lives.
That's so true, and you can see the purple passion here, and people are here to help others and give hope. We have a question for you both. We know that the core of the relay movement is about engaging others in our cause to take action. What words of wisdom would you share to help bring the people? We can both quickly answer something. Putting you on the spot, right?
I think that to me, relay is all about letting the volunteers, whatever their passion is, let them express that and do that, through the relay movement. So I think from the society standpoint, we really want it to be volunteer-led, volunteer-driven, and let give relay to the volunteers for them to do it. So I would just say, let's be as flexible as we can be, and let people take their passion and their need, as Mark said, and let them express that however they want to.
And this is a perfect example, because being here at the Mall of America is innovative.
Right.
This is exciting. People from all over. This is the second largest tourist destination in the United States after Disney. And it's filled with thousands and thousands of people. Right. So this is a perfect example. Mark, we have another question. We're getting several. What can we do to start the season off strong? In a few sentences.
Sure. Look, tell your story and bring other people along with you, right? Every person that comes means that that's one more person in your community that's going to be supported during a time, and it means that we're going to be able to assemble millions of us around the nation, around the globe really, to be able to actually eradicate this disease.
What successes have you seen using these innovative ideas and making Relay more relevant in our community? Any successes you want to mention?
I think we've started to see a lot, right? We've seen more pets be engaged. We've seen some events in communities that can't go overnight figure out still how to have celebrate, remember, and fight back ceremonies within a shorter period of time. We've seen other events still do 24 hours but walk 18 miles.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it all comes down to one, being innovative and being, letting the community do Relay the way that they want to do Relay. And because if you don't have the community engaged in it, then it's not going to be as successful. But when the community is really engaged and owns it, it's incredible. It is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, and you can feel it. You
Absolutely.
can feel the passion and the inspiration, and that's what makes us want to be all a part of it. The Global Relay for Life community is truly a special one, as we've been talking about all evening. Having taken this amazing movement and bringing it back to their countries and changing the face of cancer in their nations. So we have so many volunteers from the Global Relay for Life movement on tonight. So tell us where you're viewing from right on our Facebook page and maybe give a shout out. We will try to get some of your comments on air. Mark, our global movement is celebrating 20 years and it's going strong. In fact, we have people already, they were saying Australia, from South Africa. We're coming up on 25,000 people in reach so far during this webcast. That's wonderful, from all over the country. We have a shout out from Manny and Nicole watching from El Paso, Texas. They're getting for their Relay event tomorrow. Let's talk about this global movement. Cancer doesn't discriminate, and we are everywhere in over 6,000 communities globally for Relay.
I'm going to Kenya actually next month, and I'll be visiting some of our Relay partners there, and I think it speaks to not only our prowess of ability to educate people in many more areas and fundraise, but also to make it okay to talk about and to reach out for hope from your peer groups and social circles. So it's powerful for fundraising as it is for that personal support, and we're just thrilled to be a part of it.
And how many countries are we in now?
26.
26. Amazing. On that note, we've got a special message from one of our partners across the Atlantic Ocean. Take a look.
Good evening, Minneapolis. I hope you're having a wonderful time at this very special occasion. Cancer Research UK is absolutely delighted to be celebrating its 20th anniversary of Relay for Life in the UK, and also celebrating our 20-year partnership with the American Cancer Society. Relay for Life is incredibly important to Cancer Research UK. Since our first event at Portsmouth in 1996, our relayers have raised over £22 million for our life-saving research. But as we know, Relay for Life isn't just about amazing fundraising. We have communities across the UK who over the past 20 years have come together to celebrate, to remember and fight back. Across those communities, over 135,000 people have taken part in Relay in the UK. And what's really inspiring is that 14,000 survivors have walked the Survivors' Lap, cheered on by their family, their friends, their communities, and those incredible caregivers. It truly is an incredible experience. So on behalf of Cancer Research UK, I want to say a hugely heartfelt thank you for your support over the past 20 years. But I also want to say a personal thank you, because this year is a very special year for me. It's 30 years since my own father lost his battle with cancer. But because of everybody at the American Cancer Society and everybody at Cancer Research UK and all of our incredible supporters, today, 30 years on, the odds would look so much different for him. So thank you very much.
That is so wonderful. We are so grateful for our global partners. Thank you so much. And we've just been told we now have 75,000 viewers watching. I mean, Gary, can you talk to us about how important this global movement is? This is just, these efforts are so important and they're making a difference.
You know what, Desiree, it's incredible. The cancer burden in the United States is one thing, but outside the United States, it's exponential. And it's so great to see communities getting involved in Relay just like we did here in the U.S. 31 years ago, to really make a difference and to take a stand. And Relay outside the U.S. is very vibrant, and you can really see the growth in it, and most importantly, the importance that it's making as far as bringing communities together to take a stand and to make a difference.
And we're nothing without our volunteers to make that difference. We have a few questions from our viewers. Keep them coming. What ideas do you have to get more businesses involved in your local community? Mark, can you take that?
Absolutely. I think as a nonprofit, we're constantly asking, like, more teams, more money, but I think actually to really engage businesses, we should really start going to businesses and saying, look, we're also here to help you. We have educational resources. We have support in case any of your staff are unfortunate enough to be diagnosed with cancer. And by actually going and proving that we're relevant in every single community, it then builds the relationships where we can turn around and now ask for teams, and then of course for mission fuel or fundraising dollars.
Amazing. Our second live virtual Relay for Life is watching with relayers from 26 countries around the world. So keep sending in your shout outs and your comments. And you know what, Gary, we're going to actually go out to Stacy, because Stacy has someone in the audience that is part of the American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network, a wonderful volunteer and relay volunteer. Hi there, Stacy. Who's there with you?
Robbie Ann Schultz. Robbie Ann, tell us a little bit about yourself and how research dollars and increased research dollars have impacted your life.
Thank you so much. I am a 15-year breast cancer survivor, and I've been doing treatment for the last 14 of those years. So I see firsthand how important cancer research funding is to patients. In 2003, I started a drug called Herceptin. Herceptin was first funded by the American Cancer Society, but it was only with the help of the federal government that that drug was fully developed and available to patients. So that is why the American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network is so important and so vital in making sure that we fight for cancer research funding.
And how can people get involved with ACS CAN?
ACS CAN is joining people from all over the nation, and we are strengthening laws to make sure that public policies are there to improve the lives of those people battling cancer. But we need more people to join us to make sure that cancer funding is a national priority. So I hope everyone out there tonight will join me and become a member of ACS CAN for $20. And you can go to acscan.org/Mall of America right now to join us. And if you do, you will get this very cool Picture a Cure pin that you can put a picture of your loved one in it that is battling cancer. So join ACS CAN, join me, and make your voice be heard.
Thank you for everything you do, Robbie Ann. Back to you, Desiree.
Thank you so much, Stacy. And so right now, thank you so much, Robbie Ann. I mean, you have a wonderful story of survivorship, and you are making a difference and using your voice, so thank you so much. So it's time to focus now on 2017 and the next steps to grow our wonderful Relay for Life movement at the American Cancer Society. We are now joined by Maria Clark, Senior Vice President, Volunteer Events at the American Cancer Society, to talk about where we are heading in the future. Hi there, Maria. Thank you so much for joining us. I want to get to a few audience questions before we get to you, Maria, and you can weigh in on this. But first, Lauren wants to know, Gary, why do you relay?
Why do I relay?
Your personal thoughts.
I relay for all of my family members that have been affected by cancer and all of my friends, and I feel like it's something that I can do, like most relayers, to really make a difference.
And it's a family-oriented event because everyone knows someone affected by cancer, and we can all relate to that, and so we all have a personal story.
I'll tell you what, when you're walking that track, I mean, you really feel like that you are in control and that you are taking steps, to make a difference in for survivors, and then also in honor of those that we've lost.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. All right, Maria and Mark, maybe you want to answer this. Any advice for new event leads in small communities? And that's from Stephanie Taylor. I don't know who wants to take it.
Yeah, Stephanie, thank you for your question. Remember that you're not just a Relay for Life event lead, you're an American Cancer Society volunteer, and I would encourage you to go in your community, meet with businesses, meet with schools, meet with different community groups, and ask them what resources they need. We have incredible resources. If you have questions at any time at cancer.org, We have a call line open 24 hours at 1-800-ACS-2345. We are here to support communities, so start spreading in your community all the assets and resources that we have for you, and then figure out how your community wants to best engage with us.
That's wonderful. Thank you. Gary, I want to get back to you. It's critical to our mission, the new vision of the American Cancer Society. Can you explain to our viewers that?
The new vision?
Yeah, what we can expect to see this upcoming year regarding Relay with the new American Cancer Society.
I think we've already been talking about it, and to me it comes down to one word, and that's relevance. And you know, we all have to be clear on what our mission is and our purpose, and we all know that. But we got to make sure that whatever we're doing is relevant and is being seen as being relevant to those that we want to engage with us and want to invest with us. And I tell you, I really want to echo what Mark said. I think we all have to get better listening and educating and seeing what the businesses want to do, what the communities want to do, and how they want to engage to really help eliminate this disease, because that's what it's about. So we have to be at the society better listeners and really make sure that everything we're doing is relevant. So going forward, it's from my standpoint, everything that we're focused on has got to be relevant.
That's wonderful. And listen, our viewers are listening because we've got over 100,000 on Facebook and streaming and live. Maria, let's talk about 2017 and highlighting some of those things, supporting, he's talking about listening to our volunteers, that volunteer empowerment and ownership. Let's talk a little bit about everything.
So it's all about volunteer empowerment and letting volunteers find what works in that community and embracing that. Owning the work of the American Cancer Society in that community, whether it's Relay or whatever activity we do for the American Cancer Society. We're really inspiring innovation and creativity. Do what works. If it's different, try something new. If your relay is already successful, keep doing it and find a new twist to it. We are developing some do-it-yourself tools. We have new technology that we didn't have 5 years ago, so we've embraced that. We've developed some new tools, so anybody can do whatever they feel like to raise money and support the American Cancer Society, but putting the tools in the hands of our volunteers out all across the country is really going to help us grow Relay. And then we've developed some new programs for our corporate partnerships. We have a new American Cancer Society Partners Against Cancer. It's a refreshed version of our National Corporate Team Partners program, and it's just a better way to engage companies and corporations and find a way to cultivate their commitment to the American Cancer Society. So lots of new things coming out, but it's still the heart of Relay, what it always is, always has been, and we just know we can do it better. So let's try it.
We have a question. Kimberly asked, what is the biggest change the American Cancer Society has made in the past 10 years regarding Relay? I don't know who wants to take it.
I mean, I don't know about the last 10 years. I think the biggest change that we're making now is just what Mark and Maria was talking about, is just being much more, being more flexible and really empowering volunteers and communities to own Relay and to make Relay what they want it to be.
To make it their own.
Right.
We want to just give a shout out to the Muncie Milers in the background. They're here from Lancaster, Ohio, so we want to say hello to them. All your folks back home see you. So some of our most passionate, innovative volunteers are those on high school and college campuses across the country. We want to head back out to Stacy Steinhagen. Stacy, who do you have with us tonight?
Now, she is amazing. She is the president of Colleges Against Cancer at the University of Minnesota, my alma mater. She's also the chair of their Relay for Life event. Now, Britta, tell us a bit about yourself and why Relay means so much.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. So I started relaying in 2003 after I lost my mom to cancer in Brown County, Minnesota, my local relay. When I got to the University of Minnesota, my sister was already a part of CAC, so it only felt natural for me to join in on the fun as well. And so, yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Okay, so how did 2016 go, and what are your plans for 2017?
2016 was an incredible year for us at the university. We took a really critical look at our past events, and we were able to go back to a venue that we used to go to. We ended up having almost 3,000 participants. We raised over $100,000, and we had a super successful partnership with the Greek Life and at the university, and we're really hoping to keep up with that and to use that to our benefit at the 5K and other mission events too. And 2017 is going to be a great year. We're really excited.
Thank you for your efforts. You are making a difference. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you so much, Stacy. We are joined now by Corey Seaman, Relay for Life co-chair of the National Campus Leadership Team. This team of 9 volunteers supports the college and high school Relay for Life events nationwide. So, hi there, Corey. Welcome.
I'm so honored to be here representing the thousands of high school and college volunteers across the nation that are really working year-round to support and engage their campuses to support the mission of the American Cancer Society.
Well, we are so happy to have you, and we are honored, for all that you do, and thankful because, as I've been saying, we are nothing without our volunteers. You make the American Cancer Society. So talk about some of the achievements you've seen at the events. What really sticks out to you?
Yeah, so just thinking overall, 300,000 volunteers from the American Cancer Society comes from Campus Relay for Life events, and all of these volunteers are really engaged and excited and determined to really make a difference in the fight against cancer. In 2016, we had 600 campus events, and we raised $25 million. So we're seeing a lot of amazing things across the nation right now.
My eyes just shot out. I just looked at Gary. That's an unbelievable number.
Yeah,
That's amazing. What do you think? Obviously, there are unique elements to these campus events that makes them so successful. What do you think? Is there something specific that we can, do this across the world to make it even more successful?
I really think it's all about engaging those on your campus, and we talk a lot about relevancy. So really that is the big thing, is how do you make it relevant for your campus, for your community, and we're seeing a lot of success in that, the campus market.
Any example off the top of your head of innovation? Because we keep talking about the importance of volunteer empowerment and why campus volunteers are so important.
Off the top of my head, no, but just thinking of an example of the power of the movement, the campus movement. So in February, the National Campus Leadership Team hosted a 72-hour Fund the Mission Challenge. And by the end of that challenge, we had raised $550,000 in just 72 hours, and we were seeing 300 campus events with positive year-over-year growth.
That's unbelievable. Do you want to comment on that? Because, that's again what makes it, and then they can spread it to the next generation. So we're starting off young.
No, I tell you what, I am so excited about what's going on at the high school and the campus levels. I made a mistake one time of saying that our young people are our future, and I was very quickly corrected, and they said, no. We're the future. No, we're making it happen today. And that's so true. And getting back to this relevance issue, we have to be relevant to where we engage at all ages and all generations. Right now, over half of our volunteers are 35 and under. So, what we have to do a better job of is, bringing volunteers along that really get involved in high school, elementary school, relay recess, relay in high school, then at the campus level, and then after that, make sure that we remain relevant so that we keep them involved. But I tell you, I am just so thankful for what's happening, at the campus level. It really is incredible.
And it is, and with the social media aspect too, because of that generation is, all over social media. So we all are at all ages, but really a focus on that. I can't thank you enough, Corey, for joining us and for all that you do for the American Cancer Society. Thank you so much. So we'll be, Gary sticking around, and coming up we'll be talking about the global impact of Relay and how that is evolving. Before we meet our new guest, we've compiled a special video featuring some of the global Relay for Life partners. Take a look.
Hi, we're running Relay for Life from Dubbo, New South Wales, Australia.
Hello from the Relay family down in New Zealand.
I'm a cancer ambassador with the Zambian Cancer Society.
Shalom from Israel. I'm Rachel Goldwag at the Israel Cancer Association.
From everybody at the Irish Cancer Society, we want to say to all our global Relay friends, we won't give up until Mexico!
We wanted to offer a big congratulations to the global program on reaching 20 years of creating one world with one hope.
Congratulations to the global Relay for Life program, especially the UK, from Western Australia. One world, one hope. Congratulations!
time, Zambia is the real thing. It's happening. It's like the big deal. Relay for Life is a step closer to finding a cure to cancer.
I wanted to wish you a wonderful Mazal Tov and congratulations on 20 years of Global Relay.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. We have still some shout outs that we want to give out. We have from, so many, from Sanford, Florida, Sydney, Australia, Moore, Oklahoma, Ottawa County, Ohio, Arkansas, San Antonio, Texas, Winchester, Virginia. Thank you so much for watching. Queensland, Australia watching too. So we have a lot of questions that we're going to get to coming up. But first, Gary and I are now joined by our wonderful Dr. Rich Wender, Chief Cancer Control Officer for the American Cancer Society, and another wonderful gentleman here, Bob Chapman, Managing Director of our Global Relay for Life program at the American Cancer Society. Welcome to you both. Thank you for joining us.
Great to be here.
We're so happy to be here. So we just saw that amazing montage of videos from all over the world. Let's talk, can you guys talk a little bit, obviously we've been talking about the global movement and the importance of it for the Relay for Life program, but can you talk a little bit more about it, Bob?
Sure, and that montage is just wonderful to see our partners. It also symbolizes that cancer doesn't have a nationality. And in fact, through Relay for Life, we are projecting the mission of cancer control to now 26 countries around the world, Desiree. More than 1,000 communities around the world, over 1 million relayers outside the United States. And just last month, we celebrated, as you saw through Cancer Research UK, our 20th anniversary of Global Relay for Life. And that was just terrific. So it's just it really represents the real beauty of Relay for Life. 6 continents now, and I can tell you today that the sun never sets on Relay for Life.
You're right, it's 24 hours, it's ongoing. Thank you so much, Bob, and you're right, it's making a difference in this cause. Rich, you know, Gary has been talking throughout the program about the new American Cancer Society. Can you give us more details about what that means for our cancer control work?
Sure, Desiree. You know, we've seen a 26% reduction in age-adjusted mortality in cancer in the United States, which is really extraordinary. It's far greater than what people thought we could achieve. And what we're now going to do, since we've proven what things work, we're making a commitment to make sure that everybody has the same opportunity to benefit from what we've proven. But at the same time, there are so many unanswered questions. Some cancers where we have not made progress, and that's why we've made the commitment to double our commitment to research funding.
And I think many people might be surprised that we have a robust global cancer control program.
We
talk a little bit more about that.
We do, and Relay for Life is the face of that, but in fact, there's really all the lessons that we've learned in the United States. We have an opportunity and an obligation to share that around the world, because we have a phrase in our global program which Taboo himself always says, where you live should not determine if you live. So we're doing all the same kind of work, cancer prevention through tobacco control, vaccination, screening women for cervical cancer, particularly in low and middle income countries, making sure people are diagnosed, that they have opportunity to access care, that we can treat their pain, improve quality of life, and we do that with a tiny fraction of the money that we're raising, because the money goes so far in these low and middle income countries. So far more that we need to do, but it's exciting to see the progress we're making.
And spreading the word, like you just said, about early detection, awareness, so they know that they can get these screenings, and there's help out there.
There is, and you know, it's never just the American Cancer Society, it's really how we convene our partners. Relay for Life being such a big part of that, it's mobilizing the people who live in that country to take advantage of the tools that are being developed.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Rich and Bob. This is your last opportunity to ask questions of our wonderful leaders here this evening. Be sure to head to the Facebook where you can ask questions on the American Cancer Society Relay for Life page via Facebook Live comment section. I know we're up to 150,000 viewers, worldwide. So while we're gathering those questions, we're going to reach out across the globe and introduce you to a very special guest to the program via Skype. We have Rian Laupser, is a volunteer from South Africa Africa, who's doing big things with the Relay for Life movement in his country. Rian, welcome to the program. How are you? And you're certainly dedicated because it's the middle of the night there, right?
It is. Good morning. It's about 2:45 in the morning back in South Africa, but who sleeps when we relay?
Thank you so much for getting up so early. And I know you have family and friends and relay participants there watching as well at 3 in the morning. So that's true dedication there. So tell us what you're most proud of accomplishing with the Relay for Life movement in your country.
Well, South Africa is celebrating its 11th year with the Relay for Life program. And especially across as well because the South African Cancer Society is celebrating its 85th year, and we're actually hosting 85 relays in this small country called South Africa. And as many people know, we have a history of a segregated country. Just over 20 years ago, we became a democracy. And Relay for Life just shows that how different people from different cultures, religions, etc., can come together. And this program has really helped us, not just in terms of reaching out to people with cancer, but also reach out to South Africans and unite us as a nation.
That's amazing. One more quick question for you. What's your call to action to all the Relay for Life volunteers and staff joining us tonight? What do you want to see out of this global movement in 2017?
Well, I think it needs to remain a global movement. And I think with the help with the American Cancer Society, we can reach out to more communities and more countries. Because as your previous guest said, where you live may not determine if you're going to live. And with all the resources combined, whether we find a cure in South Africa, Australia, Europe, or America, it is going to help the world. So without the Americans and everyone else out there, we're not going to achieve our goals. So we're asking you to hang in there. Let's raise more mission fuel, and let's find a cure for this horrible disease.
So much, Rian, and so well said, and thank you for everything that you do there in South Africa, and keep the movement going, because you said it's a unified movement. So thank you, and I hope you get some sleep.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, much success to you and your team in South Africa. Bye-bye. Bob, how cool is that we get to talk to him, and he's so passionate. You can hear it in his voice, and he's right. It's a unified movement, and we're all working together. Rich said it, Gary said it, you said it, we've all said it here.
Truly exciting, and Rian is one of our most, one of my proudest volunteers in the global Relay for Life movement. Let me just give you just a sense of what's coming up for us. Last month we celebrated the 20th anniversary of the first relay partner in the UK, and 2 weeks from today we'll go to Uruguay to bring our new partner in Uruguay into the global Relay for Life movement. That will be followed by the first Relay for Life in Israel, followed by the first Relay for Life in the United Arab Emirates, followed by the first Relay for Life in Singapore. And as long as you don't tell anyone else what I'm about to tell you, that's going to be followed soon by Norway, Switzerland, and Iceland. How cool is that?
I'm just speechless. I'm in awe of it. And it's just going to continue to grow. Any thoughts on that? I just
think it's terrific. I think what we're seeing happening now from a global standpoint is what we saw in the U.S., from 1985 as it spread and more communities wanted to get engaged and make a difference. And I think it's fantastic. We want to paint the world purple. We're making pretty good progress.
And speaking of the Paint the World Purple, we have some audience questions. We had a few questions about a theme. In 2017, we're encouraging local communities to build upon Paint Your World Purple messaging from 2016, showcasing the stories that unite us all through Relay for Life. So are there stories showcased around the world? I know they talked about, it's not one theme. We want to get the word out that we're all unified. Right? And so stress the importance of sharing the stories just like we've showcased on this beautiful globe, correct? That's what the message is about?
Absolutely. It's spreading hope around the world. It truly is a global movement.
Any last thoughts? This is so far our biggest Relay for Life live streaming moment on social media. We're breaking records here.
That's exciting.
So,
that's just exciting.
I think it's terrific, and I think it just goes to demonstrate that Relay really is a global movement, and it's the largest global cancer movement out there, and it's growing, which is great.
And talk about volunteer empowerment. This is why it's growing, because of all you wonderful people.
It's the disease itself. You know, people, cancer has touched everybody on this earth, and we've heard it so many times. Doesn't care where you live, what color you are, what your nationality is, and we've proven that we have tools to make a difference. Now it's the time to really harness that. We have to do it.
Well said. On that note, thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us. We so appreciate all your insight and empowering us even more. So Gary sticking around. Stacy, you have someone very special with you who is one of our American Cancer Society Global Ambassadors. Can you tell us more?
Desiree, I am here with Taboo of the Black Eyed Peas. That's right. He has become quite the ambassador for the American Cancer Society. Yes. Thank you for being here with me. Now, you have enjoyed the Virginia Tech Relay. You have taken part in the Puerto Rico Relay. Tell me what this movement means to you.
Well, first of all, it's an honor to be an ambassador for the American Cancer Society. Just being part of a great team with Gary and Sharon and Julianne and Bob and all the great people that are affiliated with the cause and the movement. For me, when I came aboard, it was an instant, huge welcoming. And I felt like I fit in perfect because of my personal reasons of why I'm involved with the American Cancer Society. As far as the Virginia Tech show that I first did, you got to understand there was 10,000 kids bouncing up and down, singing, "I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night." But they were singing it because for that hour that I was on stage, or 7 minutes, 35 minutes, we needed that shift of energy to bring everybody's spirits up, because I know that, we have to be empathetic about everybody's situation. If we lose a loved one, or if somebody's going through the fight, I feel like, what I bring is the energy and the excitement of hope and inspiration, and letting people know that there's also another approach to it in handling these situations. For me, it's like, that's what our band has always been about.
And right in this moment,
how do I bring positivity to this? How do I make it a moment where people are having a good time, still thinking about the severe situation, but how do I let your spirits be lifted?
And that's the power of what Relay is all about. And in this moment, we are kicking off Relay season for 2017. What's your message? What's your challenge to all those volunteers out there who will take part in relays across the globe this year?
Well, first of all, I had the opportunity to do VTech Relay for Life in Puerto Rico, and I got to meet a lot of the survivors, a lot of the people, families, loved ones that are joined and united in this great cause, and against all the odds. For example, I feel like I've listened to a lot of stories and a lot of experiences of people going through the fight, and it inspires me. So my message is hope, inspiration, motivation, and try to be as active and involved to inspire the youth, to educate them about prevention, the type of different approach to healthy living, diet, and staying active. Yep.
And thank you for using your large platform to make a difference. Back to you.
Oh, man, you cut me off.
We're never going to cut you off, Taboo. Thank you. As you said, I've got a feeling tonight's going to be a good night, and so far it's been a great night. So thank you, Taboo and Stacy. We're very excited here. We've got we've got a few questions from the audience. How many survivors participate in Relay for Life? And we want to answer right now that over 250,000 have registered survivors annually, but many more are involved and impacted. And we want to ask you this, Gary, before we get to our guest. Jean asked, how do you engage survivors in the community?
I think two ways. First of all, I think that you have volunteers who are survivors to talk with other survivors about the impact it's had on them. And I think then, getting back to my whole theme, is I think we have to listen to survivors in the community to see how they want to engage and how they want to be part of the Relay movement, and help them understand what that can, the value that can provide. but let them do it on their terms.
Sure, make it their own, make it unique,
Exactly.
innovative. We have a question from a viewer. Will the butterfly globe stay at Mall of America? And that answer is yes. It will stay up after this weekend so that others can enjoy in the coming weeks. So come on out here to Minneapolis. We have a lot of relayers saying thank you to Taboo and sending their appreciation for his commitment to the American Cancer Society. So another big shout out to Taboo. And from Linda Davison in Georgia, just like Taboo, she quoted in a song, I got a feeling tonight's going to be a good night, and it has been a wonderful night. Brandy James is watching from Disney World, so enjoy there with Mickey Mouse. So we're going to get to our wonderful guest now. I'm excited to have Sharon Byers, our Chief Development Officer, here with Gary and I, as well as a special celebrity guest. Sharon, before you introduce our guest, I know you're new to some of the folks who are watching at live streaming right now. So we just heard from Taboo. So why don't you share what motivates you and what this Relay movement means to you?
I mean, Relay is the heart of the American Cancer Society, and it's so important for us to realize it's a movement. It's really something that we celebrate, our survivors celebrate, and we happen to raise money, but it really is the heartbeat. And my experience with so many of the survivors has been truly amazing. Just to listen to their stories and why do they relay with us, and how they've been involved for multiple decades, not just years. I mean, it's all driven through Relay.
It makes me so proud to work at the American Cancer Society. I started as a volunteer and now as staff, and it just, like you said, those survivor stories keep us going. You have a very special guest that we are so honored that she is joining us. Please do us the honors of introducing her.
Sure. We have with us a mother of four, an award-winning designer, an entrepreneur, a business lady, and also just happens to be the wife of one of the entertainment world's iconic artists. We have with us Simone Smith, which we are so happy to have.
I'm so happy to be here.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
And Simone has raised money for us since 2010.
Since 2011.
2011. And you have raised several hundred thousands of dollars for us through your jewelry sales.
Yes, for my jewelry line, Simone I. Smith.
Right.
And I launched my line in 2007, and a portion of the proceeds goes towards the American Cancer Society. And it's an array of lollipops and bangles and necklaces, but my iconic piece is the lollipop. It's called the Sweet Touch of Hope. It was a tattoo on my leg, and during my surgery in 2004, it was disfigured, and it looked like somebody took a bite out of my lollipop tattoo. So when I started to design my jewelry line, I wanted to design a lollipop. In the lollipops, the candy represents how sweet life is. The bite represents what cancer does to the victim, to their family and their friends. And in the center of the bite is my logo. And that represents my journey. It represents my strength.
Simone, thank you so much for joining us, and you know, the fact that you share this beautiful jewelry line with us, and the proceeds go to the American Cancer Society. Can you tell us a little bit about your cancer journey? I know before the show went on, you were telling this audience, and it was so touching, and we would love for our viewers to hear that. I know, and if for folks don't know, Simone Smith is the wife of LL Cool J. Is a beautiful family. So, and congrats on being a survivor and a mother of four.
Thank you.
So can you tell us a little bit about
Well, first and foremost, I always have to give praise to God. Praise God that I'm 12 years cancer-free. I was diagnosed in 2004 with a chondrosarcoma that they found in my right tibia bone. And they had to remove my they removed the whole right tibia bone. They replaced it with my left fibula bone in a steel rod. It took me almost 2.5 years to learn how to walk again. And, you know, being told that you have cancer is definitely life-altering, you know, because it changes everything. You see things, you look at life completely different. You know what I'm saying? I was never a person that took anything for granted. But at that point, you know, my youngest was 4 years old. And I was like, okay, well, this isn't going to beat me. And I was raised by two God-fearing grandparents. And I kept my faith. I kept positive people around me. My husband wouldn't let anybody negative come around. If anybody came into the house crying, because when I first came home, it was just like my leg was on an incline for 6 weeks. You know, I had a round-the-clock help because I could not put it down. And so my husband didn't let anybody come in the house that was going to be crying or talking negative. So what I want to say to survivors and fighters that are currently going through this is that, one, you got to keep the faith. It's a struggle and it's hard, and everybody's story is different. But God is in the midst of it all. He really is. You know, why we go through the things we go through, we don't know. You understand what I'm saying? But God is in the midst of it all. I want to tell you, right, you have to keep the faith, keep fighting, keep believing. You understand what I'm saying? You have to keep believing, no matter how hard it gets. And you got to keep positive people around you.
Thank you so much for sharing that story and such a wonderful message. Positive people, and you give us hope. We have some audience comments for you. Simone, you're awesome. How can we purchase your items? Where can we get Simone's awesome lollipop necklaces? A lot of thank you for sharing your story, because you give us inspiration, and for spreading the word and joining the American Cancer Society movement. Donna Harrison is a Simone fan, and she loves seeing you. So tell us, a lot of love for you, a lot of positive, good vibes and shout outs.
Thank you. Well, I can tell everybody that they can get my jewelry at SimoneISmith.com. That's where you get the signature lollipops. I'm also having, if whoever's in Minnesota, I'll be at Macy's tomorrow at Mall of Americas. I'm having a trunk show. Remember, each piece purchased, a portion goes to the American Cancer Society, because we have to find a cure.
Well said, and thank you for your continued support and for joining us and for all that you do. Gary, Sharon, last thoughts. Partnerships like this are so important to the American Cancer Society.
They're absolutely critical. I mean, you've heard me say many times that it's going to take all of us working together and coming together, to really eliminate this disease. And when you have partners like Simone and Taboo and Tasha, the ones that are here with us now, it just really raises the awareness all the way across the board. And it just shows that the more we work together, the more effective that we can be, and that it's that we're all in this together. So it's critical.
And you just hit on that. We're all in this together, because the common theme is, unfortunately, we all know someone who's been affected by this terrible disease. Sharon, any last thoughts about Simone, Taboo, all of our...
You are an amazing partner to us, and we are so thank you.
Thank you. You guys are amazing too.
Yeah, and we'll see some amazing things that come out of our relationship with Simone. We also want to thank Taboo, who will be performing, I think, pretty soon.
Thank you so much, Sharon, for coming on. And Gary, as always, we love having you on and hearing your insights. So thank you so much. We want to give a big shout out also to all of our guests who came out to celebrate, and also a big thank you to the Midwest Division and staff and volunteers, and to the Mall of Americas for hosting this very exciting event, and the great staff behind the scenes who put this amazing show together. So I know we are all energized now for 2017. Stacy, there's a lot of excitement out there.
Desiree, these volunteers are fired up. Right now I'm joined with Alex, who has quite the relay story. Can you share it with us?
Absolutely. I've been relaying my entire life. I've been to 19 relays for my entire 19 years of my life. I actually learned how to walk at my first Relay for Life event, and I'm excited at such a young age I can make a difference in the fight against cancer.
Does that not bring tears to your eyes? Now, right now, we're going to talk to Tammy. Come on down, Tammy, another volunteer who puts her heart and soul into relay. Tell me your relay story. Why do you do this?
My father passed away almost 2 years ago, and I've always done cancer things, but when he passed away, then I really got into it. And I'm from Ohio, and I just really wanted to be here to do this. I got the email, and I was like, yes, I want to do this. So that's why I do it.
Thank you for being here. We move on to one last volunteer. Jeff, why do you relay?
Well, I relay for all the people that we've lost, but we're most excited about having everybody here tonight in Minnesota and around the world. We're going to take this passion back to our relays and really bring it home in 2017.
On a mission, back to you.
Thank you so much, Stacy, and thank you so much. And they just said we're really going to bring it home for 2017. We have another shout out because Ireland is watching, so thank you so much. And Stacy, thank you for being a part of the program. You were a wonderful co-host. We definitely have to do it again and again. Another big shout out to our wonderful Relay for Volunteers for joining us all across the world. We are so thankful. You give us hope. We celebrate you because we hope that you are just as excited that we are here at Mall of America to get this relay season underway. We can't wait to see what amazing things are in store for 2017. Thanks again, everyone. Take care. Go Relay. Bye, everyone.